Here's a picture of the lake. This is where that Ogopogo is supposed to be. And they've done documentaries on this lake. Like the Loch Ness Monster supposedly lives here. This is the house that they built right beside this garage. A friend of mine used to own that. Was into real estate and bought it when this area wasn't as developed, and sold the house and moved it and still made money off the land from the sale of the house. So he manipulated his income to justify living on a beach. So that's kind of the secret that the rich have always had, is it's all about manipulation. And soon all of these people will lose their money because most of it's credit. However they earn their money from, it's some kind of product or service that nobody's going to be able to afford it. This water's going to be so polluted, they're all going to be dying more, especially if there's nuclear power in the air and all of these earthquakes. This guy that I met, he's an old Cherokee chief, and more like a shaman, and he sees that this is going to have a major earthquake in this area. So at the end of the day, where does all this stuff get ya if this stuff is creating all of the hell that's going on in the world and you just can't connect the dots? For example, if you drive a car and that car needs gas, you're driving blood from kids. There's kids that have died in wars just to manipulate another country's economic system. A lot of pain and suffering has gone into just about every product that we buy today. But just because it comes in a store, you don't know where it came from that store. And a lot of people have been dying, and there's a lot of poison. We've had activists warning us that shit's going to happen. But then we wonder how it's going to play out, and it's like, if the system is designed to take advantage, like if it's a big pyramid scheme, then eventually the game's over and it has to start over again. So when I see this computer breaking, I'm not going to flip out. It just means we're shifting. We're in the process of doing everything right, because the more it gets polluted, the more people wake up. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to die. And they were, people that lived in Japan. They were all working, making all this stuff. This stuff won't even be available because a lot of areas are going to be dying and not producing. And then we have like Georgia Guidestones that they know it was a game designed to fail. And so they're leaving monuments, little hints of how to survive better the next time around for those that actually want to survive or can survive it. But that's just signs of people, rich people, not knowing how to solve a problem. I'm going to go through this tunnel, and then there's a beautiful park on the other end. But whoever made these Georgia Guidestones just sees that everything's overpopulated and trying to manipulate everybody to believe there's an overpopulation problem, that there's a food problem, which no, there's only a manipulation program. Sorry. somebody's been manipulating the planet, the particles, in a way that's just making a food shortage. But these are really, really brilliant minds that are well educated and think that they know how to solve problems. So if they can't solve a problem, then they think nobody else can solve a problem. But there is no such thing as overpopulation. And but we're going to leave ourselves some guide stones to make sure that the next civilization that wins, survives, knows to kill anybody off as soon as we reach a certain population number. So we're going to design our systems to make sure you're always going to get cancer, so sufficient enough people need to die, you know, and they're all players in the game. It's all the rich people that are manipulating the poorer people to gain their wealth. But then there's people above the rich people, the bankers, and they're losing their stuff. And it's not necessarily a doom and gloom video that I want to put out, because there's so much potential for change.